They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Come back to me, damn it.
Wop, 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 wop.
Someone got too carried away.
Probably A minor.
A minor.
Hey, wait, I'm breathing.
Style friends of DEFCON, we're gonna steal it back. So, put your arms around the person next to you, and then go 8 steps left, and then 8 steps right. DEFCON 1, are you ready?
Oh, this will be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, by the waving, a lot of them didn't know their left and right, so this is going to be fun.
I don't. Right.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's so sick. This looks edited.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That's so sick. That's really, that would be the
That's
hype
cool as hell.
That would have been so fucking hype
That's
to
awesome.
be a part of.
Yeah.
Put your horns up in the sky, yo. It's time for head.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to be a part of. Something like that. Like, oh my gosh, that'd be so fun. That's crazy.
Mm.
Crowd control videos. I need to look that up, actually.
I wonder if you could feel that.
Yeah, like in the ground.
Yeah, if like you were close enough. I wonder how like,
I'm probably.
because like that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of weight to just be. It reminds me of y'all ever seen the old, I think it was a 4chan meme, but it was like 4chan format kind of thing of what if you get everybody on the face of the planet in one mass group on one part? If everybody jumped in unison, could that be enough to knock the Earth off its axis of rotation? Like,
I'm sure you could probably do that math calculation.
yeah, I mean,
and figure out like just if there's enough mass there.
Yeah,
to do anything.
8 something billion people.
I don't think it would be,
because it would be evenly distributed.
Yeah,
in a large area,
in a decently large area.
The packing efficiency low.
Also, the problem being that we are on a spinning object. So it's like even whatever force it would take to knock the Earth off its axis of rotation would need to be even greater to overcome the rotational force that'll kind of act as a gyroscopic stabilizer.
Mm.
But that's just what it reminded me of. Just that is so crazy.
All of them jumping at once probably did mess with the rotation of the Earth.
That would be really fucking funny. Like there's just some small podunk town somewhere where it's earthquake seismographer, just picking up seismic earthquake activity.
Well, do you know how they detect?
Oh, that's what the song was called, Earthquake. Okay, fair enough.
Like that butterfly
That's
effect.
crazy.
Right?
That's such a crazy metaphor.
Who would have ever fucking thought?
Like the butterfly effect where like a butterfly flaps its wings like on one side of the Earth.
It creates a hurricane on the other.
Uh,
Oh, man.
Well, you know how they detect earthquakes, right? A lot of times.
How?
Is it will like flow through the center of the earth and like ricochet around. And so like
I feel like I've heard that before. I don't remember that.
Or I guess it's part of the seismic detection like net that we have over the world. And it's part of how we image the interior of the earth is by comparing the speed at which the waves pass through the center of the earth. But it would be really fucking funny if they got a reading because of
it was bouncing enough to. That's fair. So be really funny. There's just some fucking podunk town in Australia.
yeah.
like,
oh,
whoa,
hey, whoa, what's going on?
Or it's just like, do you hear that beating sound coming from the floor?
It sounds like 8 steps to the right and then 8 steps to the left. The fuck was that? 8 steps to the left, 8 steps to the right, whatever.
Infrasound.
No, that was sick. I would love to be a part of something like that. But something else I would love to be a part of. I'm not gonna lie, the sequence of that is a little confusing. Because she blushed before she realized it was the cute Helian boy. And so it just makes it look like she was terrified of Link. Right.
The guard's foot sliding.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
It's so fucking cute.
That's charming.
Like, I would love this if we got this as the Ocarina of Time anime, right?
I need some better noise on the flag movement.
Yeah. So, fun fact about this isn't just someone's animation. This is built in Unreal.
Yeah, I
This
saw
is
that in the
someone's
title.
built in Unreal. Like, this is really fucking impressive. It made me forgive watching a lot of movement be in single-digit frame rate, which is a little painful to look at sometimes.
Well, I think it was deliberate.
I was gonna say, it looks like they're trying to replicate like a look of like animating on twos.
Yeah. To me, it's not. It's weird because it keeps flipping between like a more normal frame rate.
Yeah, and then like some things are not that, like the smoke.
The smoke is not, that Goron plane was not, but the Happy Mask Salesman is currently moving on like very low frame rate.
The flag waving is also not.
Yeah.
So I mean, like,
That's why part of me thinks that it's actually more to do with whatever computer that they're running this on, and they're doing what they have to do to not crash their system. Like, it could be an art.
I was like, you think it's because the processing is getting slower?
I think possibly. Like, it could be an artistic choice. If it is, I would just say they probably need to like kind of refine it a little bit, because it comes off more as just stuttery than it does, like you said, like animating on twos, right? Like, I still love everything about this. Like, if sorry, I keep getting so distracted by the animation.
What is that guy doing?
That is what he always does in this game.
Yeah.
I think he's just, I guess that's just their view of battling for money, because that's all he is. He's a beggar.
So that's accurate.
Or sometimes he'll sell and buy stuff. That's 100% what
accurate.
they do in Ocarina of Time. He just does that. I've been trying to figure out why. I don't know if it's just an old-timey Japanese thing or what. The attention to detail in this is insane. Dead-eyed Zelda. Yeah, no, that was something I came across earlier this week. And I had sent it to y'all before. I was like, oh, wait, that's right. We have a podcast we could talk about this on.
I remember watching it. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane. And the fact that it was just done in Unreal Engine.
It doesn't. Unreal usually has like that Unreal quality. Like you can tell.
You can. It looks like they
sort of a little bit, but not as much as usual. I feel
right.
like
It looks like they took the time to redo the lighting, and they're not just using the default.
Yeah,
some kind of shader on top.
There was definitely a shader.
It's post processing. Yeah, it's a tune shader
Yeah.
on top of the lighting, and then all the materials are hand painted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice.
I am curious if it
Because
looks.
we made something like that for
No, this is the original one.
Legend of Dino Chan.
True, we did do that. Where's the?
Yeah, because that was 2023.
It is. I'm looking to see. Oh, it was 2023.
I have seen some.
Oh, wow, that's old as shit.
I have seen some people's projects. It's been a minute since I've checked on it though, on a couple different projects that I thought were interesting. Some similar projects where they were like remaking Castle Town or some other, part of Ocarina of Time.
Mm-hmm. Are you referring to this one?
Sorry, it's been 5 years since.
It might be this one. It was so long ago.
Because I remember this was the one we were all talking about initially. This was like the first of the, but remade in Unreal. Shit, because you started getting like Pokemon, but in Unreal, and Jack and Dexter, but in Unreal. Like everything, but in Unreal became like kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was looking to see if there's a YouTube video version of this because I'm curious if it was just the Facebook player, but I don't think so. Ooh, excuse me. But yeah, no, that was just something really cool I saw. Like I would like to see this go forward. I would also like to see them not get taken down. That was something that happened. I guess some fans were making their own live action Zelda movie.
Really?
And that recently got ceased and diseased.
Damn. Diseased.
Sieved and diseased.
Ceased and
They got a cease and desist. I remember seeing an article come across. I forgot to save the link to it. And it's like, on the one hand, yes, I think it is bullshit for Nintendo to go after fans for making their own thing. But on the other hand, the small realist in me has to go, quit doing the thing that Nintendo's also doing, knowing that they're going to take your shit down.
Yeah.
If they're making a live action Zelda movie or a Zelda movie at all, now's not the time to be doing your own Zelda movie.
What did you think was going to happen?
Is it suck for Nintendo to go after shit like that? Absolutely. But also, we know they're going to. Why are we tempting it?
Also, they kind of have to.
They do kind of have to. Well, I guess it depends on.
Well, who is doing it?
Well,
I don't know. I
at least
couldn't
in the
begin to tell you.
US, because if you leave examples of your trademark not pursued on the market, then that can be. It's my understanding that can be used as evidence against you if you do pursue something else.
Yeah. That's down live action Zelda fan film. Lost in Hyrule, an unofficial live-action Legend of Zelda film, has been shut down by Nintendo. The project was canceled following an apparent cease and desist order from Nintendo with no Kickstarter funds being gathered. You put it on Kickstarter?
Bro.
Well, that's a little. You're making money off the IP, so.
Okay, I'm not even going to blame Nintendo on this one. Y'all were just doing something stupid.
Yeah.
This is a Game Rant article from February 4th. The live action Legend of Zelda fan film Lost in Hyrule has been shut down by Nintendo less than a week after it started crowdfunding efforts. Bro! Long before Nintendo and Sony announced an official live action Legend of Zelda film from Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes director Wes Ball, talented fans and aspiring filmmakers have worked on bringing the world of Hyrule to life through unauthorized projects, including one impressive Ocarina of Time animated feature inspired by the works of Studio Ghibli. We just watched that. Whoopsie-doo. Another such project is Lost in Hyrule, an unofficial live-action Legend of Zelda movie that opened itself to Kickstarter crowdfunding in early 2025. Come on, bro.
So it was even after.
It was after we already know they're doing an official thing. But set after the
There's no way you're trying to make a live action Legend of Zelda movie yourself and also don't know
that there's a live action Legend of Zelda movie. And even if the idea is that you're not making a profit off this movie, yeah, you have.
I know I have schmutz.
Yeah, schmutz.
I got schmood.
He's our new little pottery boy. Even if the idea is that you're not going to make a profit, you're just covering the cost of making the movie. You can't be exchanging money right now with this thing. You just can't, man.
They always wanted to make their own fan-made Zelda film, and they heard that Nintendo was doing it, and they had to front run them.
gotta get ours out there first.
We are Zelda.
Oh man,
30,000 was their goal.
Yeah.
How many people? Like, yeah, I guess like
only 30K.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I guess you could do it for that, but
I think you super could, because they're starting filming in April with a film to be released in fall. Like, I don't think this is going to be like, they're probably not going to go out of their way to make this super high quality or like
costume,
high production,
renting cameras.
Exactly. I think it's going to be mostly in just whatever time it takes to get the editing software for legal reasons.
Is their Kickstarter page still up? Like, do they have like a sorry guys?
Yeah, let's see.
The link should have been
sorry
right there.
Guys, Nintendo.
You talk about this?
Yeah.
That rarely ever leads to the actual thing. All right, you know what, Gamerant, good on you. Because any other news site, anything that's linked like this doesn't go to the thing it's referring to. It just goes to another article that's referring to it. And I was like,
I know what you're talking about.
They had 191 back. They were just shy of a goal, too.
Damn.
Dang. A not-for-profit fan-made short film sequel to Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Pitch video.
Not-for-profit, but you're...
Well, it means that the money that they're gathering is strictly just the cost it takes to produce it.
Oh,
so they didn't plan on making money off of this. They just wanted to crowdsource the ability to make the film at cost. But it's like, Brody, someone had to look at you and go, not now. Like, we can't do this now if we're not going to get an official license, and there's no way they're going to let us do it, and they have their own live action Zelda movie coming out.
Now, do you think, well, this is probably the whole problem. Do you think if they didn't crowdfund and just did it off of what they could, it wouldn't be a problem?
I think...
Like, there was no Kickstarter page.
It was just no.
Just like a YouTube.
I think
video?
at the end of the day, they would probably still get cease and desisted. Mostly once again because Nintendo has an official live action Zelda movie coming out. We've seen things that have never taken money get cease and desist, sometimes by Game Freak, Pokemon Go, and other companies. So like Pokemon Uranium, completely 100% fan made. This was years ago. I think this was like 2016, 2017, maybe. Complete fan made, completely free. Just put up on the internet. It was a bit more quote unquote adult, so it was like the theming of it was a bit more like out of Pokemon's accepted tolerance for child friendliness, and that's more than likely why it got taken down. I mostly lean towards saying that more than likely it would have got taken down anyway. Just because they do have a live action movie in production. But honestly, I don't know. I don't know if they would just let it be. Because there are like live action Zelda animations. And as long as the filmmakers are making it in a way that Nintendo doesn't have to, like, as long as you don't have blood and gore and a fucking sex scene.
I was about to say, well, the graphic sex between Link and Zelda really...
Well, then I hope Nintendo
The orgy scene at the Goron Mount, like the Goron City, was a little much, but
I hope Nintendo doesn't take to Pornhub then,
How fucking porn animators get away with it?
Well, first of all, it's a parody. They don't call it Legend of Zelda Lost in Hyrule. They call it Green Man Adventures in Princess Pussy. That's what they call it. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Some of the motherfuckers just trying to call it Legend of Zelda.
I was just saying, I feel like
some of the motherfuckers just call it Legend of Zelda. And then like whatever fucking porn subtitle they want. I don't know. It's always been this weird,
It's
like,
the Streisand effect. They don't want to draw attention to
I
it.
think that straight up is what it is, that they just don't, like, I think porn has crossed a threshold. I had to, okay, what?
I'm just picturing. Oh wait, based on what I said earlier, you're in a legal battle with Nintendo because you really think that you have the rights to make this Lost in Hyrule movie, and in that thing, you're like, "Well, Nintendo, what about all this porn? Why aren't you suing the porn?"
We should have just put a sex scene in it, and then you wouldn't be able.
Okay, you say that, but I feel like it's going to go one of two directions. We're either about to have the worst porn timeline or the best free use free use.
Yes.
Or the best fair use timeline is what I meant to say.
All right.
Free use.
So so basically,
Don't worry about it.
the Lost in
You know
Hyrule,
what I'm-
I know what you're talking
I
about.
know what I'm talking about.
the Lost in Hyrule guys just need to get an OnlyFans. Make it an X-rated film.
Honestly, though.
Just put a scene or two in there.
Honestly, though, what's really funny is the fact that OnlyFans was just a crowdfunding. It was more of akin to Patreon than it was a porn site.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, yeah, I'm kind of curious. I wonder if they just had laxer rules. No, because
Didn't they try to remove adult content?
they did.
Yeah.
There was a point at which they changed like their funding source, so like investors, and the investors were like, "Porn, ew," and then everybody was like, "Well, you're not gonna make any money anymore."
Do you see that the fucking pool of money in front of you came from the porn, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
it's
they were
just-
like,
it's just
"Oh,
9%.
that's where the."
It's just 9%. Oh, 99%?
Well, you were
damn.
It was
Right.
kind of like finding out that somebody was. It's like making a garden, right? And then like all wildflowers grow, and somebody's like, "Ew, weeds," and then you're starting to just burn the whole garden down.
You realize this whole garden is just the okay.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, it's the thing that happened with Tumblr. It's except the OnlyFans decision got reversed, I guess, because with Tumblr it was like, we're gonna remove the non-family friendly content. You're going to destroy your fucking business, you idiot.
Yeah.
And then they did, and that's why nobody talks about Tumblr anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I might look it up. I'm really curious why, like, porn parodies get such a pass with a lot of things.
I'm Googling it.
I think it's because there's just that whole taboo thing of like, if companies like go to either copy strike, cease and desist, or copyright claim
Yeah,
things, that people are just like, oh, it's canon.
it's canon.
Oh, it's canon.
The porn is canon.
The porn is canon.
Nintendo, they never made any moves against it, but they did not like the Bowsette thing. Like,
I did not like the Pikachu thing.
are you talking Pikachu? Or which Pikachu thing?
Just it's like
I
live
think,
action, like the
you know-
makeup is scary as
Oh, Pikachu, yeah. That's a porn parody.
Well, I just read one comment on Reddit, and I think this
I am
is
now an expert, yes.
You know, I'm not an expert, but like, you know how parodies are protected under fair use.
Yeah.
So I think in order to sue,
They would have to
they would have to
prove that-
argue that this pornographic content was not a parody of their thing.
fair.
They would have to argue that this
is canon.
porn was too similar to the real thing, so that consumers wouldn't be able to distinguish one from the other.
Fair. That is
You know,
true.
So basically, it's a compliment anytime they go for your ass. Is that
Much, a little bit.
either it's lore accurate or stylistically accurate or
IP
something?
theft is the sincerest form of flattery.
Oh man, yeah, no. Man, don't do your projects. It's like I said, there is a time in which this conversation is definitely like me being like, in most cases, I'm always going to be for the fans and not for the company. Right. In a lot of scenarios, this is one of the few scenarios where it's more about like, you got to be a little smarter than that.
Yeah.
You have to realize that them literally in mid-production of their own live-action Zelda movie is not the time to be trying to crowdfund your live-action Zelda movie.
Like Minecraft is making the Minecraft movie, and they're coming down fucking music on YouTube.
Are you serious?
Yes, Minecraft music on YouTube is getting copyright struck right now by Warner Brothers. Like C418.
You gotta be shitting me. No, fuck. No way.
Actually, I'm not gonna.
Everybody uses that music.
Everyone has been using that music for years. It's video game music.
Yeah,
it's video game music has been like the one free bastion. Oh, that's insane. That's actually kind of crazy. Now I'm sad.
Yeah, at least Phoenix XC is having some problems with it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man, well, that's unfortunate, but cool Zelda animation in Studio Ghibli style. That actually looked really good. Unfortunately, the company that I grew up on is always kind of some asshats about it.
I think they should sue the porn companies. That would be so.
That would be so funny.
It would be so great.
It would be so funny because you're gonna get one, like it's one extreme or the other. You're either gonna get a timeline where Nintendo just stops suing for anything, or you get a timeline where even porn isn't safe anymore.
Nintendo kind of coming full circle in that sense.
I mean, they're trying. They really do be trying.
How so?
Their beginnings
as a toy company?
Before that.
As a card company?
Before that.
Nintendo was not a porn company before.
No, but like they were affiliated with not necessarily porn, but like it,
adult entertainment.
Y'all know.
Okay.
I don't remember that.
Prostitution?
Something like that.
Geisha? Like escorts and shit?
Nah,
nigga, we here now. We may as well do it.
Look it up. Look it up.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, why is the number one thing? When I type in Nintendo, I get Nintendo 64 and then Nintendo sues child.
That wouldn't surprise me.
I think they did do that.
Wait for
I remember this
because of the cardboard.
The little cardboard Mario game he made.
Oh my god!
They sued him for that
because they were working on the Nintendo Labo stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think so. I think this is a shit post. Like just reading this. Paco Gutierrez, age 9, always wanted a Nintendo console. However, due to being extremely poor living in Venezuela, it was just a distant dream. Using his creativity and with the help from his uncle, he made a cardboard Super Mario game, posted it on YouTube, and the video went viral. Thanks to the video, Nintendo CEO Doug Bowser personally traveled to Venezuela to give Paco a cease and desist order and sue his family for $200 million. Oh, man, I think this is fake. Yes, you're right. The young prodigy from Venezuela named Paco Gutierrez decided to take matters into his own hands when he was yada yada yada. He did make the thing. He posted it to YouTube. The internet went haywire with the claim that Nintendo CEO Doug Bowser, who would not have done that claim, it would have been Nintendo. It would not have been Nintendo of America, as Doug Bowser is not Nintendo's CEO. He's Nintendo of America CEO. Personally jetted off to Venezuela to serve Paco with a cease and desist. To put it simply, Paco's cardboard creation didn't attract any legal threats from Nintendo, let alone a lawsuit. Yeah, no, that's just the internet shit posting. What the fuck were you talking about? No, we're not moving past this.
No. Look it up because now I'm.
What am I looking up?
Nintendo escorts. Early beginnings, primordial.
Yeah, like the beginning of Nintendo.
This is riveting.
Nintendo. Well, luckily I can cut this shit out. So. Nintendo was founded by Yamauchi Nintendo. It was founded as Yamauchi Nintendo by Yusujiro Yamauchi on September 23rd, 1889, though it was originally named Nintendo Koppai. Based in Kyoto, Japan, the business produced and recorded Hanafuda. The name Nintendo is commonly assumed to mean...
What is Hanafuda?
It's when Hannah makes food. I don't understand.
Is a type of Japanese playing card. They are typically smaller than Western playing cards, yada, 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 yada. And a single card. So it was playing cards.
Yeah.
Is this going to get somewhere? Or we can let that go now.
We like your games, though, Nintendo. We like your games.
Fuck. Speaking of shit that we didn't think was true and it might be turning out to be true, I guess this fucking mouse operation mode thing is a thing.
Which is wild.
Yeah. Like, once again, when we talked about this, when we first talked about the Switch announcement, it's just that, like, no one mentioned a patent. No one talked about their, like, I didn't see anything on, granted, I didn't really look into leaks that deep either. But, like, I didn't see anything on Central Leaks about, like, oh, there's this mouse thing patent that was leaked, and that's what everybody... It's just everybody was like, the Joy-Con slid across the table. They must be mice.
You see the animation? They did the thing.
They did the thing. Like,
but have you've seen a lot of things in those reveal trailers do a lot of things that they shouldn't do and don't do in real life when you're holding them. So, like...
Right?
It's the Nintendo controller will be perpetually wet.
It will just start dripping different colors everywhere.
It'll drip Gusher's goo every time you unplug it from the... That's how you get Fluffy on board.
Love me some Gusher goo.
There's sugar. There's just liquid sugar pouring out of it.
The holes open up for you as you go to plug them in.
What?
I'm stuck between two things that just happened on either side of me. This motherfucker slurping into the mic and then immediately apologizing.
I'm so sorry.
And then what the fuck are you going on about?
No, you know what? We don't have to worry about what I was doing. Just talking about holes opening up as you go to plug them in or something.
Oh my fucking Christ. Oh man. The use of this is kind of interesting though.
And this is the patent?
I guess this is part of the patent.
The use of the holes?
Well, not the hole specifically. The use of the hole is pretty simple to understand. But yeah, no, I guess that was an optical sensor. I think when we were talking about it, the little thing that was up in here, we were wondering what that was. It could be, I think we were like, maybe it's an optical sensor. Like that is what it possibly is.
It could be.
Now, I guess we'll have to wait and see what they're gonna suggest you use that for, because I would not use a Joy-Con as like my personal everyday mouse.
No.
Not at all. Especially if it's that small. Like, no, my hand's gonna be cramped.
Well, it is. The Joy-Cons are bigger than what we're used to now, but this does make it look really fucking small.
They might just have cursor functionality on the
Switch, which would be cool. I would be interested to see what games come out that are compatible with that feature and what they come up with.
Mario Paint.
The remake of Mario. Yeah.
Bring back the Mario Paint series. Fuck yeah. I mean,
honestly,
considering there's now a whole touchscreen, it would be a little weird to debut it with the mouse.
Let them lean into it though.
Fair enough. You know what?
The touchscreen.
No, we don't. We want an authentic Mario Paint experience again. You motherfuckers need to figure this one out. Like that would be that.
Y'all already don't use the touchscreen anyway,
right?
You may as well.
Right. The fact that there's actually a left and right click with this thing, and then all the face buttons do something. If they, because they do this, they will file a patent and not actually do anything with it. Like that's not unheard of.
Just a gatekeep,
essentially. Essentially, just so that somebody else can't take the design. It's a decently common business practice of if there's even a chance of something being used in a certain way, they'll just patent it.
Afford it, but yeah.
Like Pokemon does this all the time. Like it's hard to predict Pokemon games that are going to come out because they will patent. Like back when it was the Colors era, they had basically every Pokemon color patented. So there was a Pokemon purple, there's a Pokemon gray, there's a Pokemon pink.
Oh shit!
Really? I'm fairly certain there's a Pokemon star that's already patented. They just get the names or trademarked or whatever the fuck.
Just every Pokemon followed by every word in existence.
If you have the money, you could.
Well, yeah, well, because
Wood,
as a
Pokemon
company,
Dirt.
nothing sucks more. Very few things suck more than having to pay Giorgio from Bumfuck Nowhere $2,000 because he got the fucking URL for Pokemon Superstar Brilliance. Like
Superstar
That was we were gonna use that.
God damn it. We're gonna get fucking.
That's what we should do.
I want to make a Pokemon Superstar Brilliance now. Oh my fucking god, that's fantastic. That's fantastic.
That's brilliant.
I was about to kind of make fun of you for like bumfuck nowhere, but the dude's name is Giorgio. It's not a fucking name I expect to hear precede bumfuck nowhere. But it's Pokemon Superstar Brilliance. It's such a fantastic game title. I know we're gonna get sued and cease and desist for her soon. But
The last Pokemon game you'll ever need.
But yeah, it's like they
that shit right now.
we should. I don't think we can use the term Pokemon,
Yeah, we
URL.
but we can definitely use Superstar Brilliance and then just make a Pokemon game called it.
No, just don't put a space between Pokemon and Superstar Brilliance.
It just becomes one Pokemon Superstar. I wonder if you could get away with that. If we don't use the
Little umlaut.
umlaut over the E and just make it all one word, can we get away with Pokemon Superstar Brilliance?
our fucking Pokemon Idol game. Sorry, not Idol. Like
Idol is
singing
it.
Idol.
I thought that's what you were talking about. We create the Hatsune Miku Vocaloid competitor.
See, all right, now we just got to do that Kickstarter. Get that up there.
Get that up there. All right, let's go, baby.
No. OnlyFans.
You're right.
There we
You
go,
can't
there
put
we
it on
go.
Kickstarter.
Yep,
Soon as
yep.
you get taken down.
Was there an OnlyFans account that just like shows different fans in different settings and different operation speeds?
More than likely.
Probably.
There's probably a whole genre on OnlyFans.
That would really get me going.
That's fair.
We'll do all the dev streams on Pornhub.
There's a chick who does like all just informational tech videos.
Yep.
Like she explains.
Okay.
She just wears like a low cut shirt.
Oh no. She
No.
doesn't. She's
Not really.
Oh,
she,
okay.
she
maybe it's
herself
not
is
the one.
hot. Like she's just a hot chick, but
She's
no,
an
she's
attractive
just
woman.
doing informational. Like one of the videos that like drew me to her channel was she explains neural networks.
Oh.
And she's a I forget if she's a PhD or just a master's in like different, like she has like multiple different masters or some shit. And she just puts the videos up there on Pornhub because I think it's like she runs an OnlyFans that's also just this content. And I don't know if she's doing it for the memes or there's another bigger reason why she does it, but it's like
She found her audience.
she found her audience. It's interesting and it's funny and it gets people talking. So why the fuck not? Oh man, that's right. So yeah, now I'm just curious to see what the fuck they expect us to do with this.
Yeah.
Because part of me finds it very fascinating to the idea of turning the Joy-Con into a mouse, and then there's the other part of me that's like, yeah,
I think it's
Why?
really- there was a lot of speculation about the original Switch because there was a shit ton of tech they put into the Joy-Cons that just kind of never got touched on.
right.
Imagine the shooters, though.
There it is. That's so the Nintendo
Because-
consoles can be competitive in the the first-person shooter
Call of Duty.
space.
I was thinking
Nintendo
MMO.
Switch.
It was like start
MMO's
playing
gonna work too, yeah.
Path of Exile on your Nintendo Switch.
Right.
Except not.
I mean, now that Halo's coming to everything, now that Microsoft's letting that go,
That's right. It's for Halo.
gotta get those Halo pros.
Well,
Have you
even still
seen-
though, how is that? Because it's like you got the mouse, but then you have the keyboard,
Yeah.
right? So it's like you have a mouse in your right hand with
They
the
couldn't
Joy-Con, but like
possibly come out with a keyboard attachment.
Don't worry about that. You're thinking too hard. Don't worry
Wouldn't
about
you
that.
just use
It'll
the
just
other
work.
controller?
see what we don't know is that on
Because
the, other controller,
is also a mouse.
what we don't know, the other controller pops out. And
Pops
it's a
out a
keyboard.
full keyboard. There's a full keyboard just folded up in the Switch. I would be so impressed if that's what actually happens.
You know, I wouldn't put it above them or beneath
This-
them, whatever,
yeah.
for them to like have an attachment for the Switch with this, and it is the keyboard, just like Apple with the keyboard attachment for the iPad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it, outside of the bounds of what they do after this because of this to do that.
Like, sorry, finish whatever you were saying.
No, I mean that was it. I'd just be interested to see if that's something that they'll put out because of the whole mouse thing, like some kind of keyboard attachment. But then it's like, okay, well, what apps or
Like,
games?
what do we plan on doing with this? Because I guess that's also the thing is like, do they plan on refleshing out like their suite of apps for the Switch 2? Or are we just going to get what we currently got? Because then it's like, well, then this has to be just for games, right? And been like, what games are you planning on?
When VR first came out, and they're going to be like, this is going to replace your desktop. This is going to be your workspace.
That's what I'm kind of feeling. And it's like, this is not powerful enough to do that. But yeah, like,
And why do that when we already have laptops?
I mean, why do anything when we already got them? But
Or is it just going to be something where this is just a feature that is in them and they'll never use it? Like,
that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking is we see this patent. This patent came down from they said this patent was filed in January of last year, so it's been a full year.
oh wow,
Which I mean,
2023.
Yeah, sorry,
2 years
2
ago.
years. Holy shit.
I mean, they still have motion capabilities in the controller, and they almost never use that.
It's true.
Not a lot, yeah.
Short of like some very niche shit. Like the most I've ever used it was for
Snipper clips, dude.
snipper clips, and then
Aiming in Zelda with the bow.
that yeah.
The Switch Sports that I actually got and only played once because it was
Same.
terrible.
Same. I thought Smitty and them were being hyperbolic. And then I got bowling and I was like, wow, this isn't as fun as it used to be. Oh well. Yeah, it could wind up being that. That's kind of where I'm sitting at, is like, I wonder if this is just a patent they filed and it never really went anywhere. Cause I don't know why I guess I do know why I thought last year was 2023. I'm still switching over to 2025 brain. But this is filed back when they were still just conceptualizing this. But it said it was published on the intellectual property organization's website it wouldn't have been last Thursday. It would have been the Thursday before the 6th. So 2 Thursdays ago or something like that. But yeah, I guess we'll find out. So we have just under 2 months before the Nintendo showcase for the Nintendo Switch 2 hits. And so I guess we'll probably find out then. But
Does that company have to publish things on their website after a certain period of time? Or like, what's the conditions under which this was? It requested by Nintendo? Is this like a tacit confirmation?
I wish I could fucking tell you. And I don't know if I happen to be able to do that searching right now.
Patents have to be public, don't they?
In the US,
They have to be publicly accessible.
In the US, they do.
Because like, how can you be like, I have this thing that you can't copy, but I'm not going to show you what it is?
Yeah, published on the 8th. So no, this was this previous Thursday.
Well, like technically, you could cross-check something with the patent office. You have an intermediary that does the checking versus.
I was going to say also, there's probably a fuck ton of bureaucracy and red tape you have to go through. Like that, it's very possible that 2 years was the start of when it got filed versus us seeing the lag time it takes from file to full publishment. I don't know.
That is possible.
I don't know. That'd be something interesting to look into later down the line. Yeah, I guess we'll find out more. Something else we might get more confirmation on is the price point. A Costco in Canada might have accidentally leaked the price for the Nintendo Switch 2. And they had it at $4.99 Canadian,
$500,
which is not $500 American.
yeah.
It's about $350 American actually.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
not bad.
Not bad.
Which is not a crazy price. And I guess everybody thought it was rumored at $400, which what is $50, right? So we'll see, because it's very possible that could have just been a placeholder too. Just a placeholder price. I don't know. If it's coming out this year, I imagine they probably have SKUs ready to go, but I don't know. So $350 Switch with 2 mice.
Householder.
Yeah. So yeah, not really much else to say about that. That'll be $350 will not be the craziest price, especially given how much everything's gone up in the past few years. That actually would be kind of a bargain for a brand new console.
As everything's gone up, my willingness to spend money on things has also gone down.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So
it's kind of inability.
Yeah.
Kind of an inverse relationship on that, isn't there? But
yeah. That is just how it goes.
It is what it is.
Boy. Yeah. That's all the Nintendo Switch 2 news I had. I think I said this when it first announced, like, I'm not going to go through a ton of the speculation stuff. If there's interesting things that come out of it, absolutely I'll talk about it, but
well, I'm sure we'll find out more stuff as we
I was going to say, I'd rather wait until April when they officially start talking about things and kind of go from there and see what goes on. Let's take a quick break right quick.
Okay.
We'll come right back.
The Super Bowl.
So yeah, I wanted to start with...
Oh, I'm not going to have much to talk about this week, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think any of us did. Did you watch the game?
I watched the game.
Were you at your parents' house when you did that? Or?
No, I went over to Shai's.
Nice.
Yeah, I did not watch the game.
I didn't care about watching the game. I literally tuned in for the just the halftime show and went right back to hanging out with Angela.
I drank 2 beers. I ate some snacks. I was mostly there for the halftime show. Contemplated leaving early. I mean, the game was entertaining in that it was an
the fucking Chiefs were getting
it was a blowout.
It was a fucking smackdown. All right, it was a smackdown.
It was literally like 24-0 by the halftime point.
It was. It was insane. Literally, it was like the defense on the Eagles were doing the most work. The offense was doing incredible. Like it was the
offense didn't have to do a ton of work because the defense was so good.
Well, no, the offense they took the ball home good enough, but like when you watch them turn the ball back over to the Chiefs, and then you were like look down at your phone and you look back up. And the ball's back to the Eagles again because the Chiefs just got 3 stops in a row, and they made no forward progress. Like you're like, what the hell?
That's how the last 2 quarters of the Lions and Chiefs game felt, or Lions and Commanders. Is that what they got renamed
Commanders,
to?
I think so.
That's what that game felt like. In the latter half of just the Lions, like not being able to keep the ball for jack fucking shit. But none of us give a damn about the Super Bowl. We were there for the halftime show. Yeah. Speaking of who might have not been there for the halftime show, but was definitely watching it. Holy. I ain't even got a lot to say. It's just him being dramatic.
Yeah, he started his tour.
Drizzy, Lawbury, Drake, Graham started his tour over in Australia. I heard it got pushed back. Maybe that didn't happen, or maybe some dates got back, but whatever. Doesn't give a damn. He's in true dramatic Drake fashion. He found a way to up his victimhood. And if you're not looking or you can't tell, he's wearing what appears to be a hoodie covered in fake bullet holes with some kind of smoke machine outputting smoke behind it. A lot of YouTubers and commentators have kind of talked about what this is kind of showing and what he might be trying to symbolize, which is the idea that he took the shots and people have tried to shoot him, but he's still standing.
Right.
People have tried to liken him to Luke Cage, the Bulletproof Man, who like a very iconic scene with Luke Cage is him getting shot, but because his skin is impenetrable, he takes the shots. Luke Cage being a very famous black superhero, obviously, and that has its own poignant like thing about it. But yeah, Drake takes to what looks to be a pretty decently full stadium in Australia to try to show off. People have pointed out that he legitimately does not look happy.
Oh no.
He looks the least happy. I don't know if he did this if that's him trying to be in character or the motherfucker is just genuinely not happy.
See,
at this point in life.
Something I'm also wondering is like, was this tour like planned out? How far ahead was this tour planned out? And was it supposed to be in Australia? You know, I know he travels the world and stuff, but like, I don't know. I feel like he chose...
Drake was supposed to be on vacation.
Right. Like, I feel like he chose the furthest...
That was another thing I noticed too. Australia is quite... When we think of... So people think of China as the opposite end of the world.
Yeah.
It's not, at least from here in America. Like, in most places here in America, the opposite side of the world, by like coordinates, is Australia. He picked as far as he could go to get away from America. And I find it absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, he got as far away. And even like, I thought for the longest time that I was just missing the name and I was injecting my own meaning into it. Because I was like, the Anita Max Win. Like, he realized that sounds like I need a Max Win, right? That's literally what it is. It's Anita Max Win is a fun, I forget what the wording device is called, but it's homonym, pseudonym, synonym, whatever the fuck. It's literally meant to sound like it is a name he made out of the phrase "I need a Max Wind" and called it Anita Max Win. Which is, so I think he really just put this together because he realized he's not getting play in America anymore.
And he knows that if he goes as far away as he can, they will probably treat him somewhat better.
Which doesn't help the colonizer allegations, my guy.
It doesn't.
Like, and people were pointing out as like, yeah, ran away as far as he could to a place that will still give him play. Because America and Canada sure as shit won't. Oh, man, running away from your problems as always, Mr. Jersey. But yeah, like that bullshit. But after this, because right after this was a couple days before the Super Bowl.
He gonna need
he gonna need more. He gonna need his resuscitation is what he gonna need. Because not the American Heart Foundation Association deciding that now's the time to let us all know that Not Like Us is played at 101 beats per minute, which is the perfect tempo to do hands only CPR. Like, they not like us. They not like us. They not like us. Come back to me, damn it. Wop. Someone got too carried away.
Probably a minor.
A minor. Hey, wait! I'm breathing. Look at Instagram caption. Mustard on the beat, and it can help you save a life with hands-only CPR. If you see a teen or adult collapse, call 911 and push hard and fast in the center of the chest to the rhythm of Not Like Us. Oh my fucking Christ! It has been very funny seeing all the different companies that have been using, especially once it was like well known. It seemed like once it was well known that the Super Bowl was like going forward with using Not Like Us. A lot of like there was companies that were doing it, especially with Mustard, but there seems like there's been like a surge in like the use of Not Like Us, which makes sense. It's the biggest song of the fucking year, but like, oh my God, I think I would legitimately like piss and shit and scream if I were Drake. Like I would be so mad right now. Especially.
And again, that was before the Super Bowl too, when I found that.
Yeah, that's before the Super Bowl, because then you get to the Super Bowl. Where the fuck is it? There it is. Oh man, this Super Bowl halftime performance.
Say Drake. The snap head turn.
The smiling directly at the camera. Because like that.
Was he there?
No.
Oh.
No. There's no.
He was smart enough to not.
Well, he's in the middle of his Australia thing,
Australia.
but,
but
there's no way in shit he shows up at that.
For a sec, I thought that was him reacting.
No. This is him from some Raptors game, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That halftime show performance, though, was fantastic.
It was fire.
That show was so good.
I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Like, the choreography, the set design, the stage design. Like, did you see any of it? Did you see it?
Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam.
Samuel L. Jackson walking out as Uncle Sam.
So good.
Never would have fucking guessed that in a million years.
But it fits so well.
It fits so good, and he works so
gosh.
well as that kind of character because it plays on his Django character of the. Do you ever watch Django Unchained?
Oh yeah,
Like,
I watched it when we were living together. We all watched it. Remember?
Was that us together?
Yeah, I definitely wasn't the one who brought it up. I've never seen it before. I think you.
Were you there?
What are we talking about?
Django Unchained.
Yeah, I think you launched it up
Yeah,
because or one of you guys did.
Either I put it on or you put it on, but I think we watched it together. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how high you were at the time.
I
but
wasn't high at all. That's the scary part. That's the absolute scary part. I remember watching that movie and remember nothing else outside of watching the movie.
I don't remember it very well, but yeah, Django changed. I fuck with that movie.
I fucks with that movie. That movie was really good. I'm not playing it up for the camera, y'all. I did not remember at all the situation I was in when I watched that movie. I just remember watching the movie and that's it.
I very vaguely remember. I don't remember
It's
who
just-
started it. I don't remember what, but I do remember
It's
watching
cool.
it at the house.
It's cool that you forget the fun times we had together.
Yeah, you wish it was about me forgetting the fun times, sir. I'm forgetting major portions of my life.
Damn.
But yeah, no. So you know exactly the character he played in Django Unchained, and
Oh, yeah.
kind of being the you blacks don't have fun. Quit having fun, black people. The white people don't like it.
It's too ghetto.
It's too ghetto. I fucking love that. His that was fantastic. I was very shocked that he didn't pull out a ton of, because I remember, if y'all remember, we speculated a little bit last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever. I was certain Tyler the Creator was going to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could not have paid me enough to not believe Tyler was not going to pop out. Right? That Tyler wasn't there. No members of Black Hippie were there. As far as none of them were there. The only cameo was like there was SZA that we did know about who showed up, and Mustard made an appearance. Obviously for TV off, of course he was going to be there. And like the only other like big name cameo that was there was Serena Williams, and she was just there to crip walk.
Crip walking.
She was there just fucking crip walking
During Not Like Us.
right.
So
like
good.
I was very shocked he did not pull out a bunch of extra people, but it kind of goes into like he had a message he wanted to get across, and he got that message out there. Like the whole, just the story of everything going on with that set piece was phenomenal. There's still so much of it that I didn't even catch. And there's the obvious stuff of like all the backup dancers being dressed in red, white, and blue, making the American flag and all that fun stuff.
Bloods and Crips coming together.
Also Bloods and Crips,
again,
right? I've been watching Anthony Aiken, a YouTuber. He did a really good like breakdown of the whole performance and kind of the different messages in and out of it. Same as the channel's called Blackie Speaks, which is absolutely the most hilarious name you can give your YouTube channel. But people have been like dissecting and breaking down this halftime show, and it is phenomenal.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of social media posts and stuff on both sides, actually, and we'll get into that probably.
We'll get into that in
here.
a second, yeah.
But a lot of people are like, breaking it down for everybody on social media. It's like, no, this is what he meant by this. Like, intro, he said this, he did this, this meant that. This was a homage to this meant this. Okay, and then we're getting into this song that he started. Okay, this, when he did this, when the dancers did that. Like, it's really, really good. And yeah, I missed a lot of things too when I initially saw it.
Right.
And so seeing all the different breakdowns was really, really nice to see.
Oh yeah, when he said the revolution will be televised, right time with the wrong guy, I shat myself.
Yeah.
You understood that right away? Nice. I had no idea. And then I read about it. I was like, oh, wow, okay.
Like, it's...
Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't understand it. Well, what did you read about it?
Well, okay, so there were a couple different takeaways, right? Like, apparently that was a reference to an older poem. And it went over my head. I don't read. So, and then, also someone was saying, well, the whole thing with the current president, how, media and all eyes are on him, right? The revolution, right, will be televised, right? the right time but the wrong guy. Like, yeah, revolution is now, but you're looking at the wrong guy. You should be looking at me, you know, or at least not him.
Trump was at that game, I guess. Was. Mm-hmm. And I guess when he got pulled up, he got booed.
Really?
The entire audience. And this is just what I heard. I did not watch the game, obviously. I did not see the moment come up. But apparently in like other countries, they showed the raw footage of him getting booed. Mm-hmm. And I guess in America, they aired it with like they just superimposed in like cheering.
When who showed up?
Trump. When they showed a picture of the president.
Oh my gosh. Not them doing the thing.
Right?
That freaking... Yeah.
So...
Well, if it was on Fox...
It was on a lot of things. I thought, for some reason, it was like exclusive to one network. It was on a ton of shit. I think Fox had the official.
I think we watched it on Fox.
Yeah, I watched it on Tubi. It was, well, I guess Tubi is a subsidiary of Fox, I guess. Mm. I think it was bought by Fox or something like that. Because I just pulled it up on Tubi because I was not about to finagle around with changing the shit.
If it was cheering during the live like broadcast, they must have had some quick hands swapping that out.
Oh, they have shit ready to go. No, don't worry about that. Yeah, no, like so we kind of got into a little bit of there was the message that was put out for the thing, which is a very deep and layered message, which is just Kendrick's art in general. Mm-hmm. And one of those big messages was like the struggle of being a Black artist and having to make your art palatable for white ears, essentially. Mm-hmm. And you can't do too much because if they don't like you doing too much, then you're not playing the game properly, mm-hmm. which is where you then get the line of like, you're too loud, too whatever, too ghetto. And it was like the most direct, pointed thing of like, there's going to be large portions of people watching this mm-hmm. who are going to essentially be saying that this is too Black and I don't like it because of that. And they're going to hide behind a ton of different reasons. And they're going to, and to be clear, it wasn't just white people. There was plenty of Negroes who absolutely were a little shucking and jiving and cooning. Like the amount of times I heard, I couldn't understand what he even said. I couldn't understand one word he said out of both fucking demographics was like bonkers to me, mm-hmm. which I guess there was, so that was a thing of, I guess
there were some weird coverage. Mixing issues during the live performance,
which is really interesting because on the Tubi stream of it, it sounded fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Granted, I'm not usually, I have to be in a mind to be critical of certain stuff, so I might have just been okay with it, but.
Mm-hmm. Well, when I was listening to it live, I thought, this is fine. I mean, I knew the songs, right? So that kind of helped me, right? Like, I didn't have to listen to him to really know, like, what words were going to come next, really. But, like, for a lot of people who, really did like the show, they were like, yeah, the mixing wasn't that great during the live performance, but if you go to the YouTube video, it sounds way better because it's fully mixed and whatever.
And Kendrick himself, I believe, mentioned in a post interview, he was like, there were some issues going on with the audio. So I guess like there was a thing going on. It's just I would like to actually hear that to see if that was it, because like I said, it's like what I heard in the Tubi live stream was not that bad. Yeah.
Well, sounds like definitely wasn't enough to discount the entire performance.
Not enough to discount.
I definitely noticed some quietness at points, but I still very much enjoyed it.
Yeah. Right. Like, and so that gets us into like the discourse that's been going on around this performance. And it's not even like it's a new discourse. It's not like it's nothing we've not been used to, but it's really, really funny that it's getting highlighted in this way when literally the dude performing, as he's done since the beef kicked off, was like, this is going to happen. And the people he's talking about do the thing he says is going to happen.
Yeah.
That was really wild to watch in real time. Yeah. It was like, I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. Because a lot of white people don't like rap. Like, that's kind of crazy. I was like, yeah, that kind of sucks.
And it's probably for reasons more than just the music genre.
Yeah. Oh. But all we're going to see on social media is that, I didn't like it.
Oh, there's the country. Oh my God.
Worst halftime show ever. You know who should have been up there? Creed.
The fun part is, The fun part is like most of the people like saying that didn't even actually put up their favorite. We'll get into that because me and you both made posts about this whole scenario. Like we'll start off with yours.
Yeah, so for someone who has grown up, and who has grown up in a mega church full of mostly white people. There's diverse individuals and families there too, but like majority, like people who listen to Toby Mac and like the Creeds and all this stuff. Like no shade thrown anywhere, right? Like Toby Mac's cool, Creed's cool, whatever. But it's just like a very specific group of people go to a lot of the different religious events and places, right, that I've gone to growing up and everything. And so a lot of my friends on Facebook are those people. And so the moment the show ended and you go on Facebook, it's just lines of trashing on Kendrick and the show, people saying I didn't hear him, I didn't understand him, what was that, this was terrible. And I'm just like, no people, no. And even if I wasn't a fan of Kendrick, like we were saying, like I understand a lot of the messaging going on here because I'm black. I get it.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not like a hip hop, super fan or anything.
Right.
I can understand a lot of the things going on here. And I know a lot of the people who I am Facebook friends with, maybe not real friends with, they don't have people to just lay things out for them. They're just like in their echo chamber of like, oh, I don't need to think about this stuff. So when I see this stuff, I'm just gonna push it out and not care about it. And I feel, and I rarely do big Facebook posts really. And I know when I do, a lot of people in those circles tend to view and see it. So I'm like, I think I need to say something here because y'all ain't getting it.
Trust me, I went down the exact same route.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even so much that I grew up in like the mega church with a ton of white people. A lot of the white people that are on my Facebook, I've met through jobs and just through life and living. But a lot of them also espouse those same views. And I saw the exact same shit right after it. And that's literally the reason I made my post after I saw yours.
Yeah. Because, so I said, didn't watch the game, but as someone who's been following what's been going on with Kendrick and hip hop for the past year, this halftime show was fire. True to the culture and very reflective of Kendrick's career goals and unique artistry within today's musical landscape. He isn't a flashy person and isn't really a singer. And while it may have been difficult to hear everything he was rapping on that Super Bowl stage, and I didn't say anything about mixing, but I probably should have. But him headlining it is iconic and full circle. It makes a lot of sense that he not only earned 5 Grammys just weeks ago with around 20 total, now 22 technically. Very specifically. Not only won the Pulitzer Prize years ago, the first and only rap artist to do so to this day, but he's earned the respect of hip-hop legends for reminding the world what hip-hop is all about and bringing cultural issues to the forefront of his music. Yeah, it isn't Rihanna's Sky Platforms or Gaga's Flying performance, which were really entertaining and awesome to watch in their own right, but last night was 100% on-brand Kendrick, and for the most part, only people who know his journey and a certain kind of cultural struggle can fully understand how great, crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious, and historic this all was.
Right.
And I think for the most part, people who commented were, along the same line of thinking that, oh yeah, this had a lot of messaging in it. It was really cool to see. Like some of my, some people who commented are like, oh yeah, for individuals like myself, I just put on closed captioning.
I haven't seen anyone say this yet. And I love this person for this. I love this person for saying this.
Because it just totally negates all other arguments. Like, oh, I didn't understand it. Just turn on closed captioning. I mean, it doesn't do the best job,
right?
But it gets.
But it works for everything else. Like it works for anything else,
right?
I think one of the funniest things I heard was like the same people who were saying they couldn't understand Kendrick would be the same people asking to put a Puddle of Mud, or like any other like rock band where you could barely hear their fucking words because they sound slurred together.
Yeah, and like
on stage,
I think the one person on here who responded somewhat negatively to it, was they said, I think the Super Bowl should be for everyone to enjoy. I have no clue what was going on. I asked my son, and he said his generation knows, so I don't get why that would be on the Super Bowl when everybody watched.
Because you can't please everybody.
And then I replied, if you could choose an artist to do the halftime show instead, who would you have picked and why? And
Post Malone or Morgan Wallen.
Yes. And so initially, that's all they said. And so I was like, gonna say something along the lines of case in point.
Case in point.
But I didn't.
Someone beat you to it.
Well, so instead, I did reply with something and I deleted it afterward because she went and edited her response. So she said that. And then I said, Post wouldn't be the worst, not instead of Kendrick, but like maybe in a future Super Bowl, because he's covered a couple different genres.
Yeah.
He's done, most people know him. So that wouldn't be a bad one. I didn't say anything about the other bro because that's the other guy who like was with him on his recent record or something.
Yeah.
Country Singers. They released that country album.
Yeah.
Which got really popular.
I wouldn't call Post family friendly though.
But that's the thing.
The dude,
she just said Post Malone or Morgan Wallen, and I was like, oh, okay, Posty wouldn't be a bad idea for a future thing. And then she went back and edited her comment and said, as they are more family friendly and multi-generational. And I was like, nope,
not true at all.
And then I deleted my comment because no, I'm not going to sign off on that.
Someone very kindly came behind and was like, Morgan Wallen's family, the guy who had some kind of arrested for some incident at I'm assuming that says Kid Rock. I hope, because it just says incident at Kid, and I'm not even going to look into it.
I did, and thankfully, no actual kids.
Okay, good.
Not that I saw, right?
Okay.
But I think it was something about him, like, throwing a chair off of some kind of balcony or something at an event. And got arrested. And
that was capital K Kid.
It was capital K Kid.
Yeah. So I don't know this very specifics, but he did face a sentence of sorts.
I think the funny thing about this, though, is this person is hyper focusing on the idea that, because I in my generation doesn't immediately know who Kendrick is, which Kendrick is just as multi-generational as Post Malone.
Right.
And family friendly isn't even necessary because there's nothing he did in that show that wouldn't be considered family friendly.
I mean, Kendrick is probably the biggest artist in the US right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Like Kendrick is the biggest artist in the US right now. In major parts of the world, he is still topping charts even outside of that. But the point being is like, there's no name you can put on there that would cover all the bases.
Yeah.
Putting Post Malone and Morgan Wallen, you wind up in the exact same situation that there's people who aren't going to know about that.
Yeah, because that's pretty much country.
I don't listen to Morgan.
No, none of us listen to fucking Morgan Wallen.
I've never even heard of him.
Yeah.
But here's the real fun part about that. When they do decide to put up a name, it's just a name that only white people would know. Post Malone being the one. I'm very shocked she even put up Post Malone.
I want Chapel Road at the Super Bowl, okay?
Right? I think the only reason she put Post Malone there is because Post Malone collabed with Morgan, and she was probably a Morgan fan and knows by putting Post Malone there, that is the one artist that most people would know, but her favorite is the other guy.
Who?
Oh, so
Post Malone has his own set of controversy when it comes to hip hop, though.
Yeah.
His exit from hip hop was controversial because he essentially did the what's her fucking name? He did the Miley Cyrus thing of dipped into hip hop and like black genres of music, and then on his way out kind of like kicked it over and was like, now I'm done with that ghetto phase of my life. Like, he wouldn't even be a great example because he did the exact thing Kendrick was talking about, and the entire conversation about hip hop culture has been about in the last year. Like, he would be a terrible example, but he's also a fantastic example of the message Kendrick was talking about of if it's not palatable to white ears, it's not considered okay and you're not playing the game properly. You were a lot less incendiary than I was when I made my
I was going to say, yeah, I did that because I was like, people are going to look at this and probably like, my goal with mine was like,
all of y'all, a lot of y'all are just ignorant and don't understand. Let me just tell you why this was a big thing.
Right.
From a very kind of, stance where it's not like you needed to understand this, you needed to understand that, you need just like, no, overall I kind of surface leveled it for the white people.
Right. Before we move on to mine, I gotta say this support shocked me. I'm not gonna say her name, I'm not even gonna read the comment, but this support kind of shocked me because I'm wondering if she said this more as just in support of you, because I know her politics.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah, I also was kind of
a little side eye,
a little sus about it, but
well, you know what? If she's going to be a support for this, I'll let it slide.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? Hey, she agrees that this was kind of cool and that she enjoyed the artistry.
She had a nice message about it. I think like my biggest thing with a lot of the, so let's take this person about the in the Post Malone Burger Wallet thing, right? Mm-hmm. It'd be one thing if there was just speculation about who they want to see at the next Super Bowl. Mm. This has pointed out that it's never really about that. And when you don't focus on that, it kind of sends a different message and a clearer message. Mm-hmm. We'll get into that with the post that I ended up making.
You go over that a little bit, yeah.
So, right. So, like I said, I had the exact same thing where I just saw a bunch of older white folks complaining about this show and how it just is the worst halftime show of all. Like, it's just been going downhill, and I don't understand why they don't do country anymore. And so I ended up making my post not long after you did, because you made yours in the morning, I made mine in the evening. So I said, the absolute irony of me getting on this here Book of Faces and seeing the exact people Kendrick was referring to when Uncle Sam talked about the show being too ghetto and not palatable enough for the proper game, complaining that the halftime show was too black while trying their damnedest to avoid saying it was too black for them cannot be understated. I couldn't understand any of what he was saying equals it's too black. I don't get the message equals it's too black. Halftime shows have been going downhill equals too many black faces. We need to bring back country. Get these darkies off my screen. Like, I was a lot more pointed in mine and a little more accusatory. Mm-hmm. But like, it becomes so obvious every time they do this. And then I took a shower. Actually, I went to the gym and came back, and I was like, okay, let's be clear about this. Wanting to see your favorite country singer or artist of any particular genre is okay. No one expects everyone's favorite genre to be hip hop or to be hyped to see a performance by someone you may have never heard of with a message not meant for you. Wishing and speculating about who might be the next performer for the halftime show is, I'm sure, part of the fun surrounding the Super Bowl. But when your entire focus is solely on how displeased you are with what happened this time, it sends a clear message that you don't care about seeing and celebrating the things you find joy in. You only care about not seeing that which makes you uncomfortable for what are incredibly obvious reasons. Like, it's the most obvious it's ever been that it's not about the choice of what's at the Super Bowl. It's about the choice of what's at the Super Bowl. It's not about that they didn't get what they wanted. It's about they just know they don't want this there.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And they don't want to have to see this. And they don't want to have to see this in the public space. They don't want to see a black performance in what has historically been a de facto white space. Mm-hmm. And that's all it is. And we're at this point, let's just call a fucking spade a spade. Why are we still going around this? Mm-hmm. And at this point, I just don't want to I don't want to let people like have
because that would be racist. And I'm not
a racist. I couldn't be a racist.
You couldn't be racist.
I have black people on my Facebook. It's like,
I'm friends with black people on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. I met and I thought that black kid was very respectable once. And I was like,
just that once though.
Just one of the good ones.
It is like it's such a clear he's one of the good ones kind of thing, and that's why it always hits a certain tipping point where I also go on and make these posts, because I do know there's people on my Facebook who probably will never fucking see this. There's a good chance they'll read this and immediately tune out, and you know what? Nothing I can do about that. Mm-hmm. I can't force anybody to receive a message. All I can do is put that message out there and hope that they, or at least because it is me, because they do consider me some level of friend or acquaintance or whatever the fuck, or then same with you, is like, at least they will be some sort of receptive to it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it wishful thinking? Maybe, but the message is out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah.
Is that what you felt like you needed to say?
Say what you need to say.
Mm-hmm.
Say what you need to say.
Exactly.
Say what I don't know the rest of the lyrics of that song.
I don't either. I was hoping you would know, and I was gonna figure it out.
All the lyrics I knew to that song. I only know say what you need to say. But yeah, like the performance was great. I think even for as divisive as it is to talk about, I'm kind of glad it's generating this kind of talk. Because
especially now,
because it's kind of forcing a lot of people to come to terms with who's around them and being willing to take their stance and take the side with and the people who, to even get away from the racial shit, right? There's the people that are like, this was all just about Drake. It was like, no, it wasn't. If what you got out of this was that this whole Super Bowl performance was just about Drake, you missed the first 10 minutes of the 13-minute performance. Like, it wasn't about Drake until the last 3 minutes. And even then, it wasn't about Drake. It was just about Not Like Us, which happened to be about Drake. But like, it wasn't about Drake. It was about sending a message. Because even the whole beef with Drake wasn't about Drake. Kendrick explains all of that in Watch the Party Die. He explains that it was never just about Drake. It's not just about Drake. Drake just happens to be the poster boy for a lot of problems permeating hip hop in particular, but like music as a cultural movement of downsized, whitewashed, like elevator music that is just pumped out for consumption. There's no heart and soul to the artistry anymore. And that was the thing that he was calling out. And is it going to say that it was never about Drake? No, it was about Drake. The motherfucker's been at it for some time.
But only because he's the perfect example.
Only because he's the perfect example. He's the embodiment and the encapsulation of everything wrong with hip hop and music. Is like, he embodied something. And so, yeah, that's the one I got to go to, because you can't fight the ideal. Like, Drake had so many opportunities throughout the beef, even, and after it, to have just, if he had made any decision to just go, you know what? Fair. And just go, you know what? I lost. Maybe it's time for me to reconsider like how I do my music. Maybe my music has become a little too vapid and a little too elevator music and too targety. Or maybe I just accept that if he at any point just accepted that, like, you know, it's just what I like to do. You may not like it, but I'm cool with my lane, and just stop pretending like you're something that you're not. Stop pretending to be this gangster and this glitz, like this, trying to live this persona that you don't live and trying to portray that in all your music. Let me stick to my lane and accept that this was my wake-up call to go back to my lane. So much of this would be so much fucking different.
Oh yeah.
Does not like shit, even in the battle, if Drake had, I'm asking a motherfucker to not be himself, which I'm realizing as I talk, but like, if Drake hadn't tried to pull the same stunt he did with Meek Mill, not Meek Mill, but Pusha T, which didn't go great for him either, and not try to escalate the battle to somewhere it didn't need to be from the outset, we never would have got to Not Like Us.
Yeah, that's true.
Drake, we got to Not Like Us because Drake has an actual fetish for going at people's wives and their families and then acting like the victim afterwards. When he loves to escalate shit and then act like the victim once it's up there. Like, it's like us pushing each other and then you punch me and I punch you back and you go, "Oh, why you do that? Why you do that?
It didn't need all of that."
And then you run to mom and dad. It's like, he fucking hit me and I didn't even do nothing. Like, there was so many opportunities.
You standing there with a broken nose, meanwhile being like,
I'm sorry, is the blood pouring from my face like just spontaneous? Or, I mean,
you swung too.
This time of year, it actually kind of is. But we have been bloody nosed all fucking winter. It's bad. But it's like, motherfucker, You escalate these things to places they don't need to. Fuck off. Fuck off. If you want to know what we're talking about, go to Patreon. Actually, I have to start putting content up on Patreon. I promise.
Wait a little bit.
No. Go there. Because they will force me.
It'll be there.
Subscribe and follow so that when you can get notified
when I post the stuff. I've actually been making a push for content. I've been doing a push for content. This last week, I finally started putting content out more across the social medias. I've been using, I just literally before I came down here today, I found a new tool that helps post things to multiple different platforms and doesn't cost me an arm and a leg.
Nice. Okay.
So I'm going to start trying to use that and learning that. So it's coming. It's coming.
Oh Lord, it's coming.
Oh Lord, it's coming. Most of the barriers that have been in the way have been my own doing, but we're getting there. But anywho, yeah. I forgot what I was even fucking talking about. I know it was about Drake. I forget where I was in that thought process.
We were just talking about how, Drake cries, after getting hit back, essentially.
Right. Like he creates situations and plays the victim once he's there. And I say this again as someone who legitimately did not care about Drake before this battle. Not cared about in I just didn't like his music. I guess it was that, but I didn't listen to Drake at all. The Drake was so far off my radar. I learned how big Drake was because of this beef. Mm-hmm. I had only known Drake as the dude who did Hotline Bling and the kind of the dude who people kind of made fun of for being sensitive.
I fucking hated Hotline Bling.
Really?
Yeah.
I really like Hotline Bling. I liked it.
To it. But when you're talking about elevator music, it's just
elevator it absolutely music. Is.
Oh, yeah.
It absolutely is. I like elevator music, though. But fun thing about just Daffy Duck. Whatever.
Fun thing.
Yeah. I'm glad you understood what I meant. Fun thing.
I think part of me is playing up how much I disliked it now.
Right.
Now that I dislike Drake more. But genuinely at the time I was like, this is kind of dumb.
It's very vapid and I'll say I liked Hotline Bling less. I liked the Nintendo Wii Shop version of Hotline Bling. The one. The Silver
I think I played that more than actual Hotline Bling.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's just so good.
It works so fucking well.
It's so good.
So that was all of my Drake knowledge. The fucked up part about Hotline Bling is it's really hard to go back to it now after learning so much about Drake or possibles of actually the stuff I learned about Drake and just like his conduct with women and possibly young women. Because Hotline Bling, as elevator music-y as it is, mm-hmm. There's the parts where he's singing about some girl who, and yes, absolutely, it's being colored by this past interpretation of the song is being colored by a future current lens of view of Drake, but it's but that's kind of how it works, right? If you listen to that song, it's so much about him wanting a girl to be codependent on him. And
I also thought it was kind of gross.
It's really gross now that I've gone back. I just didn't pay much attention to it.
When he was you're going out.
I see.
Exactly.
Going places where you don't belong.
Right?
Just that sucks.
You used to call me on my cell phone. Let me leave my love. Call me on my cell phone. Trying to think. I'm going to pause for a second while I think.
Ever since I left the city, you
started hanging.
Started wearing less and going out more.
Started hanging with some girls I've never seen before. Fuck. That's how. Now I could rap most of Kendrick songs I've ever heard, bar for bar. And I can't even think of this basic ass song.
But that's kind of how a lot of his music is now, right? You go back and listen to, people have been breaking down some of the past most incriminating songs that no one really gave a second thought until all this started coming out. And you're like, oh, wait a minute.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Got a reputation for yourself now. Everybody knows and I feel left out. Girl, you got me down. You got me stressed out. Ever since I left the city, you started wearing less and going out more. Glasses of champagne out on the dance floor. Hanging with some girls I've never seen before.
You and me just don't get along. You made me feel like I did you wrong. Going places where you don't belong. You got exactly what you asked for. Running out of pages in your passport.
I understand with 2000 whatever the fuck sensibilities. 2015 sensibilities, he's just talking about how him and this girl are growing apart, right? Have grown apart since he kind of moved out.
The last part of the song too is like a little different too.
Where at?
Ever since I left the city,
That's where
You looking at the bridge? You looking
yeah.
Yeah. Wondering, bending over backwards for someone else. Wondering if you're rolling up a backwoods for someone else. Doing things I taught you, getting nasty for someone else. You don't need no one else.
Literally, this song is about this girl has moved on with her life and is getting a fucking life, and he just doesn't like that.
Yep.
Why you always touching road? You used to always stay home. Be a good girl.
You was in the zone. Yeah, you should just be yourself right now.
Like,
You're
why?
something else.
Why should she have
Why
to
do you want this girl to be like, it's like going back to R. Kelly music nowadays. It's really hard to go back and listen to anything now that it's been colored with what we know of him now. Mm-hmm. Like, even like the one song I liked by Drake, I can't even go back and even enjoy anymore because it feels so fucking icky. It feels so goddamn creepy.
Well, because you can no longer interpret it as like somebody growing apart and then saying meaningless shit because they're growing apart. It's like, actually, this just sucks.
Forgiving your propensity for young girls who are barely of age, and honestly, in most kinds, not even of age, it almost seems like you like keeping incredibly passive, completely cut off, shut in, and very, what's the word I said before? Codependent girls in your camp because they're very easy to control. Yeah. And it's going to be real hard for me not to ever see that again. Luckily, I don't listen to Drake. So,
you know, the main thing I took away from the Super Bowl was that performance was that like, I don't know, it was less like specifics. It was more just the vibe that I got was that just like what was going on here. This performance is just as American or culturally relevant.
Oh yeah.
Or as valid as anything else we've ever seen at this performance.
Yep.
And just because it's different.
But it's not for certain people, therefore it's not okay.
Yeah. It was like, I don't know. I thought it was cool. I liked it.
Yeah. And I know that we talked about, you know, not everybody, you know, not all white people feel, you know, but it's like I do want to give kudos to those of you who saw this, realized this isn't my genre, but also acknowledge that, you know, what Kendrick was doing, what messages he was putting out there. And even if you didn't understand it,
right,
you knew that it meant something big and meaningful to a certain group, and you accepted it.
Here's a comment from a good friend of mine. I grew up with in a church. I met him in church, and I know him from church, and he's still always just been like really supportive. And he lays this out really nicely. He says, "Is he my favorite artist? No. Was it my favorite genre? No. Did he put on a poignant, powerful performance? Yes. Did he make a stand to call out both racism and pedophilia on the biggest stage in the world? Yes. Do I fully support him for doing that? Yes. Would I watch him do it again? In a heartbeat." And that's the thing is like, it's not, I'm not looking for y'all to love hip hop all of a sudden or absolutely be in the know of who Kendrick Lamar is. I get it. You're not going to know. But like you said, to use stuff like audio's problems and shit, or like to just be sitting here watching this performance and go, the whole thing's just terrible. And the whole thing is like, you have to be actively going out of your way. You have to just be going out of your way. And it's to a point that it's like, it's hard not to see your actions as other than what we're kind of calling out here. So it also showed me like there's people that there's sometimes I just look back at certain people and I feel really bad for like the way we kind of treated them.
Yeah.
Because certain people have really proven themselves to really be like bros and allies. But what it is.
Nobody's perfect.
But I say how we treated them. We never did it to their face. It's just kind of how we talked as college students. Oh, Pearl Jam is the one they were talking about. Like, white people will tell you they couldn't understand a word Kendrick said and then put on some Pearl Jam. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. But yeah, that halftime show is going to go down in history. I think it is I don't know if this is my number one performance at this point. I'm still debating if that or the Dr. Dre Like they're both really important for hip hop in different ways. Dr. Dre was a celebration to the history and some of the biggest like moments for hip hop. And this one, which also included Kendrick, which is fucking sick.
It did.
And then Kendrick's halftime show was a very pointed, like as far as messaging goes, was intense, was just fucking crazy. So I'm still like debating where I put that in my top 3, but it's definitely top 3. Like the Kendrick performance, the Dr. Dre, and the Michael Jackson like are my top 3 favorite halftime shows of all time. The Prince performance and I would say the Beyonce halftime show, I think are like making up the top 5. But I'd have to sit down and like go through them all again and
I don't remember all of them like that. But
like to be clear, I don't remember well, I guess I remember it, but I was not present. I was present for it. I didn't watch it as a kid. It's many years later I went back and watched Michael Jackson halftime show. But the things he was doing is Michael Jackson's. It's going to be real hard to top Michael Jackson. He's Michael fucking Jackson.
This halftime show is like number 1 most viewed though.
Yes. What is it? 131 point something million.
I think it was 133 when I
133.1.
Yeah.
133.1 million people tuned into this halftime show, making it the biggest halftime show of all time.
Yeah.
And you can't even say because it was streaming. Like halftime shows have been streaming for the last 6, 7, 8 years or so. Like this one was the most watched one, and they say
which is hard to imagine because of all the other stars that have come before and done it. But it does make a lot of sense though because of everything that's been happening,
everything that's been going on. Yeah.
So
like, and especially for a Super Bowl where most people were like, I don't even want to watch it. This one, like I remember, like, especially here in Michigan, so many people were like, when Lions dropped the fucking ball, no pun intended. So many people were like, I don't even give a fuck. I'm just going to watch the halftime show and maybe some commercials and bounce the fuck out. But yeah, 133.1 mil. And there was some report of like viewership dropped by like 1 million the second halftime show stopped. The second it stopped, viewership just tanked for a bit.
That's hilarious.
Also, it didn't help that like Chiefs were getting soundly trounced. Like it was bad. I don't even give a fuck about the game, but I saw how bad that was. I think it ended 22-40.
22 to 40 something.
And it was like 0-22 by the halfway point. It was bad.
It was
so bad. I was like, I'm not a football fan, but I know bad when I see it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It was honestly it was embarrassing. I think there were 3 interceptions, one of which was returned for turnover, one of which would have been returned for a touchdown, but there was a flag, or there was a fourth, but there was a flag on the play, so it didn't count. It was one was for the Chiefs, but 2 more were for the Eagles, one of which was returned for a touchdown. Which the guy who did it looked like he was like 5 years old.
Like in action or just
like it looked like he had such a boyish face on just like this hulking body. It was like they're just which also we were talking about like what an insane moment to have. Like that's the highlight of your whole career. I caught an interception at the Super Bowl and returned it for a touchdown. Like that's fucking
that's
cool.
Insane, right?
Yeah, you can take that with you.
If you just put that on your resume, you're hired.
You're scouted for any and every team forever now.
Yeah,
like that's really cool. But the and then in the second half, the Chiefs were like finally got their britches up enough to score a couple touchdowns.
Not high enough.
They got lucky. They missed one of their. I don't know if they were going for the 2-point conversion, but they fucking didn't do it.
Well,
so they got 6 points on that, and then they got another touchdown. It was I don't know. I think they may have scored all their points in the final quarter, if I remember correctly.
Wow.
But don't quote me on that.
That would make sense.
But it was basically at the point where the Eagles were like, all right.
They started to gain some steam, but it was far too late by the time they were.
Whew.
man.
The point at which they needed to rally and turn things around was in the fucking second, and they really did it. They just it was like watching somebody kick it's a metaphor from kick a steel plate. It's a metaphor from that's very common from a lot of the Shenxia Zanzia stories that I read.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But yeah, like literally the physical momentum, watching it just crash up against the Eagles and just like fail to do anything. Yeah, there were a lot of crazy moments, but it was crazy in that the Chiefs just kind of got steamrolled.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Philly freaking steamrolling the Chiefs, did you see the Philly steamroll itself? The city? I have a video.
Oh, Lord.
And I was so caught up
Isn't
with...
that a sex thing?
No, you're thinking Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
Thinking Cleveland.
I don't know.
What the hell is that?
I said...
Oh.
I have some memes in here and some stuff, but like I
which one? Where is it at?
It might be in the Kendrick Super Bowl thing.
Okay.
Or... Yeah, it probably is.
You fucking filled this bitch up.
I did. There it is. Meanwhile in Philly.
Because I know stupid shit happens afterwards. I did not hear.
Apparently they greased the light poles.
I was watching. That's what I saw.
Turn the sound.
Okay. We're gonna do this.
People still climbed the light poles. A couple people died from falling off of them.
Oh, they didn't just climb them.
Let's see. Oh my God.
What the hell, dude?
Jesus fucking Christ. Who stole a horse? Mob mentality is nuts.
And they won.
They won. That's always the weird part. Fuck. Was it? Oh my God.
I really want to be there. I'm not going to lie to you. I want to join that crowd. I want to get.
There's the part of me that wants to feel that rush. Then there's the other part of me that's like, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? You won. Wasn't it Philadelphia that also had the horse shit eater years ago?
Huh?
Yes. Yes.
What?
I just want to be part of a crowd and feel so fucking happy that I feel the need to tear down a light pole. All right. That I feel the need to destroy public infrastructure because it's the only valid expression of the joy that I have. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, that's a different kind of joy.
Hold up. Because I'm not understanding what the fuck Google is doing here. So I typed in Super Bowl fan eats and I said H, even though it's there right now. And for some reason, it decided that because the last thing I searched was Hotline Bling, that there must be a connection here.
Eats Hotline Bling, eats Hotline.
It's
hamburger.
doing its best.
It's trying, I guess.
It's that
they're not going
It was Eagles. That's what I thought.
What?
Yeah, no, years ago. It was one of the first ones. So this was about, I think, 7 years ago or so. The Eagles won the Super Bowl and they fucking went ham and rioted, and you get a clip of a person eating horse shit off the street.
No, of course TMZ.
Of course it's TMZ.
No way.
It's like, what? Like, there's no...
What do they say?
Are they just not going to show it?
What do they say? Oh, no.
I'm just not watching.
Yeah. It's actively the weirdest thing that goes... I think the part that bugs me so much about it is that the people that... And this happened in this moment when this happened. I remember Facebook at that time too. Because the amount of people that were like watching... You want to know what was so upsetting about it? It was because at the same time, to quit tearing up our studio.
I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ.
I'll tear this shit down myself. Talking about it.
It's like at the time this happened was also in the midst of a lot of the Black Lives Matter stuff going on. So you had a lot of protests going on around the city, and you had a bunch of people calling out these lawless thugs who are just out here enacting violence on our cities.
And meanwhile, you have people in Philadelphia rioting.
Then you have people in Philadelphia rioting, destroying the city, and eating shit off the ground. And these same people who were like, I'm going to hop in my truck and we'll run them protesters over for fighting for their basic right not to be discriminated against by cops, looking at this shit and going, good old football.
America.
That's why I have such a... I don't have like the fondness for seeing this type of shit, because I've seen the people that fucking condone this shit are the same people that, unfortunately, there is a social issue that kind of colors this for me. Mm-hmm. It is just like, what the fuck? Like, why? Why is this? Why is this what we do? Like, I get it if you lose. Well, I don't get it if you lose. No. I get it more if you lose. But like, when you won, like you're the victors.
You keep watching too.
Should y'all be like,
it's ridiculous. Like, why?
Like, we treat this as the...
It's just a yearly cycle.
Yeah.
It's just part of the, sometimes it rains, sometimes it snows, sometimes a mob of angry football fans run through and smash your windows.
So you think that Philadelphia, if they are like finalists in the Super Bowl, they're just like, okay,
you would think they would go through the process.
Don't want to win. Don't lose. Mm-hmm. Or else our shops are done.
Well, how much worse is it when they lose? I want to know that.
That's a good question.
I think the fun part is I don't think it's ever that bad, because I think the tradition here is that you riot when you win. I think it's literally just coming down to what people can consider the tradition. It is Fair enough. If you win, you destroy shit. If you lose, you mope and go home. Or I guess you just don't leave your home, I guess, because I don't think they've held... God, what if they held a Super Bowl in Philly? Like, how bad would that shit get?
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm sure it definitely was a lot bigger this year, only because they were winning pretty much the whole time by a whole lot. So that people gathered throughout the Super Bowl time, because it just became more and more clear that the win was probably going to happen.
Right. Oh, that shit's crazy. All right. Let's take one more break and then we'll come back in, because I didn't watch any. So we're going to get into some of the Super Bowl ads that y'all found worth watching. So we'll be right back. You said you weren't really feeling the commercials this year. We were getting into something.
I wasn't. There were two that I enjoyed, was the Tocinos and the Doritos. There's one I won't talk about that offended me on a deep and primal level.
I'm going to guess it was not culturally offensive.
It wasn't culturally offensive. It was just repugnant.
Fair enough.
Anyways, the more we talk about it, the more mad it's going to make me.
He brought it up earlier, but we're not going to talk about it, I guess.
So specifically won't talk about it. Oh, okay. But yeah, the rest of them were just meh. The ChatGPT one was interesting until I realized it was for ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And nothing else really stuck out to me. There's always the obligatory Budweiser commercial where they're like, we like courses.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, this is kind of cool, but it's for beer.
Forget that time we supported the gays and immediately backed the fuck down when we had a chance to actually stand for something. Yeah, it's weird, the decline in my interest in commercials, even though I do think there's a decline in quality. Because I remember that was like the one reason I would watch or even tune into the Super Bowl from time to time, was to catch the commercials. Mm-hmm. And then the era of YouTube happened, and then the Super Bowl got wise and started, and everyone would put their commercials on YouTube, and then people would compile them, and I'd be like, not even gonna give a fuck about the Super Bowl. And this was before I gave a fuck about the halftime show either. And so I was like, the next day I catch all the advertisements, and I did that for a couple years, and then they just hit a point where I was like, I don't care. None of these are interesting anymore. Like, they're Like there used to be like because during the Super Bowl you put in the majority of your budget, like so much of your marketing budget is poured into these commercials, and you wind up with like either like really just high quality, like interesting, almost cinematic levels of commercials, or you get like weird, funny, stupid shit, and that's what everybody used to enjoy. But it's like now even that concept has become like it's as corporate as it gets now.
Yeah.
And it just feels so like
I really would love to, because it was like 2013, 2014, I want to say, when we really first had that like, holy shit, these were really fucking funny.
Yeah, I'd say
and
that.
then we were going through for weeks after on YouTube. I remember in like high school, those teachers were we were spending class time watching funny Super Bowl YouTube videos. And then that carried on for a couple of years, but ever since then it's really been in decline. And I wonder what that like secret like magic sauce was. According to what I heard from the original Doritos, is they had done like a public poll, and they had people had pitched like Doritos commercials. I'm not sure how valid that is, but that's like what they did. And apparently they did that again this year, but they only ran one commercial spot, at least that I saw. And I actually, it was one of my favorites. I thought it was very funny. But ever since then, I think it's been that sort of like, we're spending how much money on these? We're like, okay, so we're gonna create something, we're gonna test it, we're gonna test it again. We're going to run it before the Super Bowl, and then we're going to like...
It reeks of market research.
Yeah, it reeks of market research. It reeks of like corporatized. And so like, yeah, because it's such a big risk to take that if it does fall flat, you know, but like having a company spend that much money and then do something funny and weird was like the best.
Well, it was the best thing. I think also we're witnessing the convergence of all of these, because like you said, back in like 2013, it was all the companies kind of just doing stuff. And I think we've seen over time the movement of that being more of a, now everyone's kind of doing like, it's so hard to explain, because like obviously everybody was doing their thing for the Super Bowl, but now it's become kind of homogenized in a way.
Yeah.
That it's just like the unique hilarity of seeing like all the like the thing of seeing like all the companies showcasing their best ads or like their most like creative ads has kind of gone away, and now they're all just kind of showcasing the same deal, and that's pretty much kind of it. I feel like it's the same thing of why like YouTube what was it called, the year end YouTube Rewind. Yeah. Why that ultimately eventually fizzled the fuck out and just kind of...
Well, the other thing about YouTube Rewind is YouTube is such a diverse space that trying to highlight specific community...
That was the other
was just like... It left so many people feeling alienated.
Yeah.
Just...
That's true.
I remember watching the Rewinds and being like... okay,
right.
But then they would also bring in like celebrity appearances. Anyways, the YouTube.
Oh yeah, that's hot. That's hot.
Was it like the battle bus he was looking at, or is
was it?
I think so.
It might have. Oh my god, I've seen
so.
more memes of that moment than I've seen of the actual clip.
Yeah. That was when Fortnite was big, and that was a Fortnite theme.
That's when Fortnite was the new thing. Well, no, I guess it wasn't the new thing, but yeah,
it was still massive.
I was gonna say it's
still massive,
big,
yeah, but like
probably bigger than it's ever fucking been.
When it really popped off for the first time, I think that's when that year.
That was interesting because it was a dichotomy between PUBG and Fortnite.
Yeah,
and I remember because PUBG was the battle royale that kicked it all off. Well, Fortnite has had the staying power for sure.
Well, Fortnite had the backing of an entire publishing, like it had the backing of Epic,
and PUBG was
a
mod, wasn't it?
Was it a mod too?
It started as a mod, I think, because Player Unknown.
I just don't.
PUBG's still around. I picked up a business card because they were looking for technical artists last year, but
nice. Yeah, I forget. Were they a mod to Player Unknown, or is that its own thing? Or were they a mod to something different, or were they a mod to like Gmod or something?
What? So what is Player Unknown?
I know PUBG is Player Unknown Battleground. I don't. I thought you were about to say
My understanding was that Player Unknown was a figure within a specific first-person shooter community, and he made a mod that was PUBG.
Oh, okay.
And then made that into an actual game. I don't know how accurate that is.
I feel like I do remember hearing that PUBG started as a mod.
Yeah, because that's me.
What though?
That's me stringing together context. I don't think I ever did any real research on it.
Do I have all of the world's information at my fucking fingertips? Yes. I guess I'll fucking.
Yeah, but why would I take advantage of that?
Yeah. Right.
How did PUBG start? The game, which was inspired by the Japanese film Battle Royale, is based on previous mods created by. Oh, okay, it's based on his mods. So I guess this was his foray into games. There's a 2017 Battle Royale video game published by Kraft and developed by Kraft and PUBG Studios. The game was inspired by yada yada yada. Player Unknown Green for other games expanded into a standalone game. Okay, so it was basically like he took all the work he did for modding other games and put it into his own game and created his own game. So it's not PUBG itself is not a mod. It is the culmination of working in mods.
Okay.
But Fortnite hilariously was its own game, and that the battle royale game was a side game mode of that just took the fuck off, which is always interesting to hear.
Yeah, I remember a couple of years before. So I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, because it was like they were leaning into like the building the fort thing. Basically, was the game mechanic, and then.
It was a zombie defense game originally, I believe. Because I remember being at GDC and seeing them talk about working for Epic and developing it.
Yes, I remember like the story mode thing that they had going for a while. I mean, I guess there's still story aspects to it, but like they were really pushing the survival.
I remember when it was just like a demo, like it was like real bare bones in like the Unreal store or whatever, like. It was weird.
And now you have Hatsune Miku teaming up with Godzilla.
I remember when their number one customer was the Yakuza. And then they started selling porn.
And they started sex hotels, some shit.
Something like that. It was a little weird. Now they're like super family friendly. It's kind of crazy.
Hatsune Miku's in those buildings now?
Yeah. It was, I don't know.
Godzilla's on those cards.
Godzilla. I don't know if I would consider this a guilty pleasure, but I do very much love the Hatsune Miku emote into the Godzilla. I don't know if it's like a super or what, if there's like one person who gets to be the giant Godzilla, but it's the what?
The Miku beam.
Miku beam. And then just the Godzilla. I fucking love those clips so goddamn much. We were talking about Super Bowl ads, weren't we?
We were fucking talking about Super Bowl ads for sure.
Yeah, I've heard they've been going downhill. Like I said, I've not been super into them. My interest in even going back to look at them has been at an all-time low. But you have put together some that you found were interesting and worth watching.
So, wanted to preface this with, I did not watch any of these live, but I did the thing of the day after or, the night after whatever, after YouTubers got
fucking time to sit through the goddamn Super Bowl to watch these stupid ass ads.
Yeah. So
we know someone's going to screen record them and put them online. Actually, not even screen record. We know the company is just going to put them online anyway.
Yeah. So I kind of went back and, looked up some compilations of, some funnier ones that happened this year. And a lot of these were in multiple different videos. So I was like, these must have been the best ones, quote unquote, of the pack. So,
all right. We'll watch through some of these, react to some of these, and then we'll probably call it a night. That motherfucker looks so much like Jack Black on a quick look. Yeah. Oh. What the fuck? What the hell?
That's pretty good.
Okay. Not as good as the. Are you gonna finish that? The finger leg. That is still peak Doritos commercial. Like, oh man,
not as good, but it's still entertaining.
It's funny.
Oh, full length.
Yeah, there are
2
full
minutes.
They
2
didn't
minutes is
run
what I
this full
expected.
thing.
There are full length versions
During
of
the Super Bowl,
these.
they definitely did. They definitely ran the full thing. Like you don't.
No, I watched this. They didn't run this full thing.
There are 30-second ones, 60-second ones, and 90-second ones, and then there's just full.
Okay.
Not for every Super Bowl commercial, but for a lot of them there are.
Here is something to remember me.
You leave those little kids alone.
You stop imbuing them with your essence.
We'll never forget you.
What about us? Yeah, what about the dads? You got any gifts for us?
I didn't really talk to you much.
I talked to you.
You live in my garage.
You didn't know I was in there.
You ate all my pizza rolls. These are like $100.
It's kind of a lot of money, Chasmo.
I really want some pizza rolls, actually.
Pizza rolls are 10 for about $1.
Well, then give us about $1.
Why do you even care?
I want something from an alien.
But I'm messing up your spaceship.
I'm messing up your spaceship.
That's not doing anything.
Yeah, it is. He's pushing on it.
That doesn't matter.
It's moving it. I kicked it. Nice. Good job. Chasmo, give us something.
My name's not Chasmo.
What? Your name's not Chasmo?
Why have we been calling you Chasmo?
You just started doing it.
What is your name?
I don't know. Names aren't like a big deal.
Yeah, they are, buddy. Yeah, they are. They're a really big deal.
Doesn't matter. I'm leaving.
Yeah, next time you come back, buddy, have a name.
Just fucking. I think you should leave. Just as a promo spot.
They're chicken, they are. I hate to break it to you.
This is not what they ran at the Super Bowl.
Really?
Okay, so Click, interesting. Yeah, that's not part of it. That wasn't the full thing. Because Click Totino's pizza rolls thing.
Okay.
And then do the
band extended?
No. What?
15
yeah,
minutes?
maybe. Yeah, that one.
Thank you for sharing your Totino's pizza rolls.
Is this what they ran?
No problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll miss you, Jasmo.
I'll miss you too. I'll share them across the universe.
Unfortunately, that's just a part of life.
What the fuck,
We
bro?
didn't know him as well as you, so it's not as sad for us.
Not that we didn't want to.
Just didn't open up around us.
Yeah, now it's dead. Oh! I got some gunk on my foot.
Everybody okay? I
Yeah.
guess the doors hit his head so hard,
The eyeball came out.
nowhere to go, so the pressure shot it to here.
Anthony, you'll be alright. You gotta go to school tomorrow.
Totino's pizza.
What the fuck?
That's what they fucking made.
Okay, that's pretty great. That's pretty fantastic. If you're gonna run an ad, run that.
Yeah, no,
I'm so glad they ran that during the Super Bowl.
my God.
Yeah, that's what they ran.
Okay, that's fair. That's a good one.
Band extended cut.
I wish I had seen
It was
that
extended.
one
They
before.
had it.
That would. I feel like that would have been even funnier if I had saw that like before I saw the other one. Holy shit! That's. I think you should leave humor. That's
Yeah.
absolutely. I think you should leave humor.
It has his fingerprints all over it.
Is that Cardi B?
I don't know.
No, that's not. Maybe. That's not Cardi B. What?
God.
Yeah, what a shame how fucking far you fell, bro.
Yeah.
They didn't have this at the Super Bowl.
There is so much as he can tell you, so much he can say. my power, my pleasure, my fame.
Well, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Mountain Dew Baja Blast. A blast of tropical lime. Good looking seal.
Still just chilling in the back. All right.
I didn't care for that one.
I don't think I cared for that one too much.
That was probably the more haunting of... Minus whatever one you were talking about. I don't know what the fuck with the hat.
We can watch it after.
We can.
You said it.
I don't know.
He said it. Well, we're going to have to watch it.
Once upon a time, there was a girl with golden locks. You know what? Maybe it was like a rugged, woodsy dude. Yeah. The beds were too hard, the chairs were too soft, the porridge was too... This Goldilocks wanted something.
He looks both familiar and unfamiliar at the same time.
Right.
I don't remember what...
He drove the Ram 2,500
Who is he?
to pick up some dinner.
They're trying to sell me a truck.
They are.
Too hot! Some really big dinner. Tastes like chicken. Next, he
Just
took
absurd.
the Ram Charger deep into the woods to flex his artistic muscles.
That was the village tree.
Then,
Damn.
completely abandoning the narrative, he fired up the Ram RHO for a little joyride. Time to jump a volcano.
I get it.
Dramatization. Do not attempt.
What about the three bears?
This is my story.
Yeah, I don't know who this motherfucker is at all. Not even a little bit.
Been a romance lead in
The
something.
bears were there.
I could not tell you the actor's name or what he's been in, but I've seen a lot of movies that he's been in.
Not the, okay. I need you to rewind real quick.
I cared
I need you
more
to go
about
back
this
about
last 30
10
seconds than I did.
This commercial centered a fantastical portrayal.
Is that? Did it really say that?
Yes.
Wait, what?
Yes. I need you to go back and pause, and so we can look at the bottom and pause.
This commercial set in the fantastic world does not portray real world scenarios. That's fair. Okay. Fair enough.
I mean, hey, someone could sue.
I'll tell you right now.
Did you see the one when he jumped the volcano?
You said that your car could jump a volcano. You're telling me.
To jump a volcano.
Dramatization. Even professional drivers can't jump an active volcano. Do not attempt. Okay, that's the devil in these details is actually really funny. And I get it. They're kind of leaning into like the story being kind of cringy. Like a lot of things being kind of cringy and they're trying to be cringy.
Mm-hmm.
The commercial got really good right here. As soon as it was like back to the Three Bears thing, this is where it was actually kind of funny to me. This is funny.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's, again, the result of the 30
That's where I know him from. He's in Twisters. It's Glenn Powell.
yeah.
Fuck off.
You're right.
He was the male lead in Twister.
Oh,
He was.
Jesus.
He's also in Anyone But You, Hitman, Top Gun. Let's say he's been
Top Gun would do it.
Set It Up, The Running Man. He was in The Dark Knight Rises. I don't know what he was doing in there, but he was in it.
But yeah, like the 30-second spot and
They played
even the
this almost this
60-second
whole
spot.
thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they cut out like the point where they were like the village tree, but I saw almost this whole thing. Now, actually, I shouldn't keep saying they ran, but like what I saw, the broadcast I watched, ran almost this whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Like,
but yeah, I think if you're finding like areas where it's like, oh, this part was better than that part, they probably kept the better parts in like the shorter versions of it.
Probably.
You know, that was at least, I remember that one, that was at least entertaining. It was still, but it was like,
I see what they're going for, and I don't hate them for it, and obviously it's kind of working, but I don't know.
I can't believe it
This one
back
was-
in this place.
What?
Hello.
Nobody remembers that.
Something wrong?
Not doing it.
No good?
Nothing.
Well, we can't have that.
Yeah.
What's happening? Here we go.
Is that Aquafina?
This one's real. Lunch and a show, huh? How about that?
That is a sandwich. I'll have what she's having.
I'm competing with a condiment.
It's funny because sex, guys.
I think it's also a reference.
Oh yeah, to Sally Met Harry. I'm assuming.
I've not seen it.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
But funny because orgasm in public place. It's funny, guys.
Yeah.
Come on, laugh, guys. With this
Ah!
0 comments.
Or,
13 days ago. Or I wonder if it was just recently on.
No, I was gonna say maybe they turned off comments, but no, if they did, it would say this comments have been turned off for this video.
Well, I think you could turn them back on eventually.
Type first.
But they must have done it now.
Type first.
Like, no way.
Say just something about they fell off.
No, I'm not doing that one.
Refresh it. No way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
it's just auto deleting. That's really fucking weird.
Why?
That's real stupid.
That's really dumb.
I think it's probably because they got the comments we figured they would get.
Yeah.
This is so funny, guys.
It's got 3K likes. I wonder what those dislikes look like.
Fucking
3K.
Probably amazing. It's probably amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was.
Granted, I don't think this one was for me.
You know who this is for?
The
people that the halftime show was not for.
Yeah.
I've never watched how Sally Met Harry a day in my fucking life, so I'm sure this tickled somebody's funny bone.
I didn't see this one.
Why do I bedazzle my Frank's Red Hot? Because I put that on everything. And this glamorous
Harris
bottle
fucking Hilton.
Yep.
can be yours. Show me how you're kicking things up a notch with Frank's Red Hot for the big game. It could be any food. Buffalo chicken dip, wings, waffles, ice cream, caviar, chips, pink chips. Loves it. And that's not just hot, that's red hot. So what are you waiting for? This bottle has your name on it. Well, if your name is Frank. Or Red Hot.
Or
original.
Okay, that was fantastic. that was actually a good one. Like, why randomly Paris Hilton? She has not been important in God knows how long. 2, her shaking.
But if you're gonna have somebody do that,
there's something so funny about her shaking the bottle and nothing was coming out. And then it got extra funny when it started coming out. Just like she's just shaking the bottle and not a single thing is coming out on any of these shots. And then she gets to here and it starts coming out. Like, why is it coming out now? Oh man!
I thought I was seeing things.
Right? For a second, I was like, "There's what?" This is a good one.
That's hot.
That's hot. Second very hot.
It's the only 2 comments.
Frank's Red Hot only had 16,000 subscribers. Only 7,000 people have seen it. Oh my fucking goodness! This. Look at the names. Super Bowl Lad Man and Super Bowl Ads 2025. Hey, goddamn boy.
That I don't know. I think
no. I'm sure. I'm telling you what my comment's about to be.
12 likes.
You know what? No, we have to do it this way.
Oh yeah.
Copy. Oh my goodness.
This was me.
Shut up.
Slut.
Yes, sir.
That's all. And that's all.
Refresh?
Nope.
Did it stay?
I'm sure it did. Fucking better have.
No,
it says 3 comments, just not showing it yet. It might be in review. I think YouTube comments sometimes do go into review.
Oh, maybe.
we'll check back in on that at a later date. I'll let y'all know what I'll let y'all know if that comment actually went through or not. We'll see. It says 3. I think it's just held in review right now.
Our algorithms are really
Hey, there it is.
Let's go.
I
like it.
Yes, you're right. Right.
Hey,
There we go.
and dislike the no.
Just like the other ones. You know what? Fuck it for the meme. Why not? Oh, this is actually the dumbest thing I've ever fucking done.
And then dislike the video. But subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Sending so many mixed messages.
What the fuck is going on? No, you know what?
But you know what? It was funnier than most of the Super Bowl ads.
That's fair. I have to dislike one of them, but like the other one for no fucking reason. This is so stupid. I don't understand what's going on, but you might have an update.
Why is that thumbnail so graphic? It's too late.
I also don't think I saw
Are
the
you talking about the
Haagen-Dazs.
one of Born to Suffer?
Yeah.
I fucking love those videos. They're by a channel called Bound. It's just an animated like life of an animal video. They're really good. Holy shit.
I also don't think I saw the Haagen-Dazs. That is Vin Diesel.
I was gonna say, is that Vin Diesel or is that not Vin Diesel?
That is Vin Diesel.
Okay.
She's also there.
She is also in the series.
That's also his sister, and it makes this kind of weird.
Wait, what? Like in real life?
What happened to Fast Life? Not today.
Actually, I say that. I don't know if that's his sister or not. In the movie.
Oh, in the movie, no.
Okay.
Because they're the couple in the movie.
I thought that was
I thought so.
No, I thought that was Paul's girl.
They're family.
Yeah, they're family.
Like blood?
In the movie, yeah, I think so.
Really?
Because that girl was
I was making a family joke. I don't know about their relationship.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay, hold on.
Because I remember binge watching like 6 or 7
Then
of
you
them
know what? You would
straight.
know better than me.
It's been a minute. It's been maybe like 3 or 4 years since I've done that though.
He sure does kiss his sister a lot in those movies.
I'm fairly. Wasn't that Paul Walker, his character? Wasn't that his girl?
No.
Does that motherfucker put an oil filter on an angle grinder? I usually click on that.
Oh, never mind. I lied then.
I usually click on
What
that
purpose
video.
does that even fulfill?
I'm not clicking on that during the podcast. We'll watch it later.
Okay.
Control click it.
Okay, so here's the problem. The girl that does wind up with Paul Walker looks very much like her. That's... Yeah.
Interesting.
They look a lot alike, so it's kind of hard to say.
Yeah.
I'm sure...
Never seen Vin Diesel slowing down in the scene.
They all survived the plane crash, and Dom survived the big wave of water from the dam explosion. All right. That's an ice cream commercial that...
Yeah.
If you're not going to follow this up with an announcement of a new Fast and Furious, then like kind of a missed opportunity.
All right.
Also, why Haagen-Dazs?
Because they could afford the Fast and Furious IP.
Fair.
I don't see. This is what I mean by like corporatized bullshit. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like people like the Fast and Furious movie. We can get Vin Diesel, so let's do that.
Yeah.
Wait, guys, what if it's the Fast and the Furious, but they're slow?
And they pull out an ice cream.
What if it's not so fast? Not so furious.
Someone's getting that $20,000 bonus this year.
This is why Tim Robinson should run all comedy.
All right, last one. Rueben and Meta.
Meta, how do I live my
With
life,
Chris
Meta?
Hemsworth, Chris Pratt, and Kris Jenner.
How should I approach this life situation, Meta?
Oh, what fucking Chris puns are we going to get in this? Because I refuse to believe we're not going to.
Hey, Meta. Play my gallery music. Hey, Meta, what's this?
This piece is called Comedian by Mauricio Catalan, valued at $6.2 million.
$6.2 million. Whoa.
Does that look like Chris Pratt at all to y'all?
Little bit.
With the glasses?
I almost didn't recognize him when I first saw him.
Recognize him for half a second. That didn't look like Chris. To the point, it's not just the glasses on his face. His build doesn't even look like him.
Yeah. It's like he's longer.
Yeah.
Well, like
he might be slimming down for a role or something. But
maybe he's doing something for some kind of movie he's got going on.
Hey, Meta, translate that.
That looks more like him.
Which one of you is real?
Which one of you is real? Good question. That makes you wonder, doesn't it? What?
That's a $6.2 million banana.
Why is it duct taped to the wall?
You just eat things stuck to walls?
I'm hungry. We need to find you another banana. Bananas. Who's a fridge this big and not bananas in it?
Gentlemen?
It's all good, brother. I got your back. Be cool. Thank you. I love you.
There you are. Oh, man. That's a lovely home you have.
How do you like my art collection?
It is tasty. Tasteful. He means.
Who eats art?
I think you're supposed to say, hey, Meta, first.
Like, hey, Meta,
Who eats art?
and then Meta would say,
Chris Pratt.
Hey, Meta, call my lawyer.
But then the glasses start at $299. Like,
they had a chance to actually do something funny and they didn't do it.
Yeah.
Like it's not even like I'm not even memeing right now. Like they just had a chance to have Hey Meta answer the fucking question. And they just chose not to do that.
Nope.
So okay.
So yeah, that's
that certainly was a bunch of commercials. Yeah. Some of them were actually entertaining. Like the truck one, as much as it was very cringy to me, the last, like I appreciate what it was trying to do, even if it didn't fully land for most of it for me. The last like 30 seconds of that one was pretty funny. Like if they had stuck it out with just the Three Bears bit and him inserting himself into this Three Bears thing, and ended it with them like skip past the jumping the volcano bullshit, skip past all the other stupid bullshit they did, and just got straight to the being chased by bears and trucks because he's stolen Baby Bear. That would have been really funny to me. God, the Baja Blast one. As we've now gotten away from it, I can appreciate it more. That's just weird and out there.
I think it's supposed to be weird and out there and make you talk about it, and that's why I don't like it.
That's fair. Fuck,
because I don't think the Baja Blast one did anything really fun. It did a seal pun, and then it made it weird as possible.
Yeah,
and then
it did a parody song, and that's always going to be like, this is just not gonna ever hit for me.
It just wasn't it.
Yeah.
It just wasn't it.
The fact that the most interesting, like the most entertaining one here to me was the Paris Hilton Frank's Red Hot commercial is gnarly.
I really enjoyed when Chamalunga died.
Yup. The Tostitos pizza rolls.
I'm so mad because I want to correct you, but A, I don't remember his fucking name, and B, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't fucking matter.
He's dead now.
Well, he's dead, and the name wasn't even correct
Canonically,
anyway.
it wasn't correct and didn't matter.
Yeah, it wasn't even his name.
Maybe I'll sit down and go through some of these.
No.
At a later. I probably won't.
Don't do that.
You're right.
Why would you do that?
You're right. That's fair. What time is it? How long we been going? About 3-ish hours?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna call it there. I was gonna do some Reddit stories tonight, but I don't. I think we'll save those for next week. We'll start off with that.
Cool.
Alrighty. Well, that's it for us tonight. Super Bowl.
It's super. It was a bowl.
It was super, and it's a bowl.
You can eat soup out of that bowl.
There's some really superb owls that come out of it as well.
Super soup.
Soup. Y'all have a fantastic night. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
5 stars.
Make sure to follow us on Patreon. It's only $1 right now.
Only
you should really get on that. Should be there to greet all of the wonderful content we'll be putting up eventually.
Shout out to Mike.
Shout out to Mike, our one and only currently. Oh God, you're always holding us down. Thank you very much for that one, buddy.
Love you.
Yep. So we'll
Stay
see y'all
gay.
later.
Stay.
Oh God!
Shit!
Fuck!
No.
Stay gay.
Have a good night.
Peace.
Bye.
No, guys, don't look. It's really not that big.
No.
No, guys.
No,
No, it's too.
No.